Hello! Hi! And welcome to our blind read-through of Saya no Uta, or The Song of Saya. Now, I hope that for your sake that you've done your due diligence and that you've watched the introduction episode, each and every one of you, because that's gonna be your only reminder. You know how with 2236 AD, certain episodes, the thumbnail would have like a special notice that, hey, this episode's got naughty bits in it. Well, that should just be assumed for every episode of Saya no Uta going forward. This one is not for the faint of heart. It's not for the kids. This one's gonna be one where you're gonna want grandma to get out of the room. Her little heart's not gonna be able to take it. Don't let grandma catch this one. Anyway, so that's gonna be your final warning before we go ahead and get things started here. So this was blind. We're going in. Let me get myself situated here. We go, aha. There we go, look at me, now I'm properly sized. All right, and then we go over to the game, and we do the thing. All right, in 3, 2, 1, let's go. The story is a work of fiction. Anime is not real. You cannot watch this series if you believe that anime is real, apparently. Oh my word, these are definitely sounds that I'm hearing. It's like all the voice acting in the game like this. This is great. This new Boris album is sounding great. 3 such creatures sit around the table in front of me, slurping filthy sludge from their cups as they trade whines, growls, and sounds that I cannot describe. I'm loving this. I honestly absolutely love this sound design already. This sounds incredible. And with the whole thing in the background, like this eldritch horror, whatever we're looking at back here, this is already a jam. This game has an absolutely powerful aesthetic so far. By listening carefully, I'm able to grasp the gist of their conversation and respond when it is required of me. This is necessary to avoid arousing suspicion. However these creatures may look, they are my friends, apparently. Oh, hey! I wish that I could still deny it, but I gave up on that a long time ago. Night after night, I went to sleep praying for an end to this nightmare, only to wake each morning to the same twisted hellscape as the day before. I know now that I have to blend in, that I have to act like one of them. Such has been my life these past 3 months, and so it will remain until the day I die. This is just what the world looks and sounds like to this guy. Jesus! This is kind of extreme. Like I can kind of hear words there. Like it's just filtered. It's just filtered speaking parts, but it's just like could pull that apart and hear what they're saying. But I'm pretty sure they're having a pretty normal conversation, and that this is how this guy perceives the world for some reason. Which existentially, that's kind of terrifying. That if your view of the world is like this twisted normally. Judging by its tone, this one must be Koji, and the one next to him squealing more than the others is probably Omi. Which means that the one next to me is Yo, though I can no longer see any trace of her once attractive features. I try my best to ignore the rotten stench of excrement that issues from her quivering flesh. This is very affecting so far, though. I'm really liking this. Like, if you wanted to slingshot me into the mind of this character, you're doing a great job so far. Everything has changed. Or almost everything. By some cruel trick of fate, my relationship to the world alone remains the same, as if an insane architect took the blueprints of my life and rebuilt it out of blood and gore. These monsters and I were part of the same college club. We studied together, ate together, we even went skiing together every winter break. Now these are but painful memories of days that will never return. If only no one recognized me, I might have been able to disconnect myself from the world. It would have been comforting, in comparison, to believe that I had been abducted by aliens or that I had stumbled through a gateway to hell. But no, this is beyond doubt the city where I was born and raised, the society that I was part of for 20 years. Save that I, and I alone, can no longer see it that way. The world as I knew it is gone. I have no place to call home. God, look at this back. Like, this is just how this dude sees everything. This is wild. Anyway, I can tell that whatever they're talking about is of no importance to me. I decide to keep quiet while pretending to listen. But just then... I could actually hear Hey Fuminori there. Hey Fuminori, one of the flesh beasts says as it swivels its bloodshot eyes towards me. What do you think? I tried desperately to suppress my loathing and behave normally, but my hoarse voice ruins the attempt. Oh, we're gonna go on a ski trip in this condition? Great, let's go. A slimy hole near the top of the creature writhes nauseatingly as it vomits some semblance of words. That must be Koji's face, or what I would have seen as such 3 months ago. Unable to stomach the sight of it, I avert my eyes and give a neutral answer. I have plans to stay in my room with the lights off for the rest of my life. These were my closest companions. One of them had even wished to be more. How many nights have I slept? How many nights have I spent crying in loneliness, lamenting the friends who no longer exist? In 3 months, my tears ran dry, and now there is only loathing left in me, surrounded by hideous creatures that I can only assume are Koji, Omi, and Yo. I spend each day trying to act as I always have. If I fail at this, I'll surely be sent back to the hospital. Dude, I think you need to go to the hospital if your world is like this. Only this time, I'll be locked away forever. No matter what, I won't let that happen. Yeah, nothing physical could be a problem here. Nothing at all. Skiing like this would probably just be great. That's it. I can't look at them or bear this screeching any longer. I jump to my feet, desperate to escape. It's Fuminori, by the way. I know I got it wrong the first time. Sue me! Please don't actually sue me. A spray of stringy slime from the cilia around its voice box flies at me. I try to cover myself, but too late to keep the slime from splattering across my face like the yolk of a rotten egg. I'm about to lose it. I want to grab a chair, a desk, anything within reach, and use it to smash the life out of this creature, ending it all. I barely suppress the impulse. I mustn't let on that something is wrong. However they look at me, this is their world. I'm the outsider here.
だから今日も診療なんだ。もう時間だから。
Struggling to put on a smile, I reach into my wallet, pull out the first bill I find, and put it on the table without even looking at it. I don't care about the change. I just need to get out of here. Now.
それじゃ。
Later, I mutter hastily as I flee the cafeteria. I'm not crazy.
ねえねえ、今度のスキーだけどさ、今年はどっかスケートも遊べるところにしない？
Okay, we're gonna go on the ski trip. This is like what this is what this conversation probably looks like, you know, to normal people who don't have crazy brain. Tsukuba Yo frowns at the suggestion.
スケート？わざわざスキー場にまで行ってスケート？
勘弁してやってくれよ、つくば。こいつ今そっちにハマってんだ。
Tono Koji supports Omi with a laugh. Her impromptu suggestions are nothing new, and it's Koji's role as her boyfriend to provide backup. They're a good match for each other, Yo thinks. Sometimes it makes her jealous.
なんせオウミってさ、この前この年になって初めてスケートやったんだ。
何よ、スケートしたことなかったのがそんなに不思議？20
歳になって初体験ってのは興味そうそういないんじゃないかな。
Don't be ageist!
子供の頃はなんとなく怖かったのよ。あの靴、なんだか刃物みたいでさ。
Don't you want cool knives on your feet, though? I think that would be baller. If I could, like, have knives and or guns on my feet, I think life would be so much better.
でも、いきなりやって滑れたの？大見ちゃん、すごくない？
容量はスキーとそう変わるもんじゃないからな。重心を前に出して靴の前のヘリでコントロールする感覚とか。
That's all you gotta do. It's as easy as that.
コウジにそう言われたもんだからさ、騙されたと思ってやってみたわけよ。そうしたらもう楽しくって。
I suppose that growing up, skiing is one of those things that I could have tried doing because I did live in an area where there were like resorts and stuff, but they were like an hour or two away from me. And like we got that kind of snow, especially in the winter. So it's something I could have done, but I actually never got around to it. I'm more into like wanting to skydive. I'm probably gonna do that someday. So it was a date. Yo feels a stab of envy. Koji and Omi enjoy their time together as normal lovers do. That's certainly not something that should arouse jealousy. It's just that her luck in love has been bad. Aww.
私も見てみたいな。大見ちゃんがスケートやるところ。
She's one of those girls that probably needs a little more confidence to take initiative. Yo keeps her voice upbeat, trying to cover up her internal conflict. It's okay, Yo. We're over here already flying the flag for Team Yo. Though I don't know if this game's gonna have any kind of resemblance of anything even remotely resembling romance. In fact, I'm gonna bet something terrible is gonna happen to this poor girl. Given that the author is who the author is and that this is a woman, I mean, shoe fits. She knows that it's wrong to envy her friends. She too would be spending time with the man she admires if not for the terrible tragedy that befell him. His is true misfortune. Her bad luck doesn't begin to compare. Okay, so Fuminori did like Fuminori have some kind of accident that led to him seeing the world as, you know, the last stage of a Contra game and like that, like, okay. I'm gonna assume she's the love interest or something.
だからさ、ね、今度のスキー旅行、ついでにスケート旅行にしちゃえば2倍美味しく楽しいってわけよ。
Let's do both.
でもさ、スケートはスケートリンクに行けばできるじゃない。わざわざスキー場に行ってまでやる？だから屋内じゃなくてさ、屋外スケート。
You couldn't get me to do that.
滑れるところ。
You could not get me to skate on a lake. Big old scaredy pants there. Like, I've never skated at a rink either, but that is also something else I'd want to do, especially since I grew up being such a hockey fan. You think I would have made that a point to have made it happen sometime. I'm not an interesting person, huh?
そんな都合のいいとこあるかな。なんだ。
While speaking, Yo sneaks a sideways glance at the young man sitting next to her. Although the conversation has involved only 3 people so far, there are in fact 2 couples at the cafeteria table. Yo's boyfriend, though there is still some doubt over whether he could be called that, is beside her, as silent and expressionless as a statue. No? Okay.
Fuminori.
Okay.
お前はどう思う？
Okay, so yeah, we are catching up to this opening conversation now. Perhaps Koji sensed Yo's pain in his usual quiet and considerate way.
どうって。
The cause of Yo's distress, Sakisaka Fuminori responds to Koji's sudden query with a vague, mumbled question of his own.
いや、だからさ、今年の冬のスキーだよ。お前も行くよな。
Koji speaks gingerly as though probing a tumor. A few months ago, he would not have even hesitated to rebuke Fuminori for his attitude. Their long acquaintance had forged a strong and honest friendship, but now...
わからない。
I don't know, Fuminori responds bluntly, his downcast eyes and sullen demeanor making clear that he has no desire to break his silence.
何か他の予定でもあるのか？
いや、別に。
Even Koji, Fuminori's best friend, cannot communicate with him as before. What hope does Yo have of breaking through his shell? The scars left by the events of that late summer day are still deep all these months later. Each one of the 4 bears them. Not only Fuminori. Okay, so something bad happened to everybody?
なあ、別に運動するのが傷に触るとかそういうわけでもないんだ
What
ろ。
did y'all do? Did y'all have like a... Wait, is this a bad ski trip and that's why we're being weird about it?
どうだろうな。今日の診療で先生に聞いてみる。
As though that answer drained the last of his patience, Fuminori bolts out of his
おい、
chair.
文則。
Even Koji can't keep his voice from rising as he tries to stop Fuminori from leaving. Fuminori reacts swiftly, throwing his hand over his face as though to shield himself from something terrifying. Maybe some spit flew inadvertently from Koji's mouth, but that sort of thing happens during everyday conversation. Fuminori's reaction is beyond the pale. I actually had some physical therapy for my back today because I've been having some back problems. Everybody wants to hear this during a visual novel, right? And yeah, like the therapist actually spit on my face a couple of times while she was talking to me. It was just kind of like, I don't know. I try not to do that. Am I spitting on people when I talk? It was a weird thing. It's a weird thing to have come up in the game, but also have happened to me literally only an hour ago.
だから今日も診療なんだ。もう時間だから。
Like I said, Fuminori snaps, making no attempt to relieve the discomfort of his friends. Today's my checkup. I have to go. Even as he tosses money on the table to pay for his coffee, he acts like he's touching something
それ
filthy.
じゃ。
Fuminori stalks out of the cafeteria, almost as if he's running away. Cloaked in heavy silence, the remaining 3 lower their gaze to the table where the abandoned 10,000 yen bill sways forlornly. Fuminori's coffee is untouched.
やってられないわね。
I can't take this anymore, Omi says with a sigh, but Koji shakes his head reproachfully.
文則にはもう少し時間が必要なんだと思う。
We gotta be good friends.
だってもう3ヶ月よ。なんなのよあれ。付き合ってるこっちが変になりそうよ。
Okay, Omi, you're kind of being a bitch right now.
俺だってわからない。わかるはずもないと思う。
I guarantee you he's not told them that he's seeing like the eldritch abomination otherworld either.
お前だって想像つくか？あんなひどい形で家族全員を奪われて。
So he lost his
平
whole
気でいられるわけない
family.
よ。
So what happened to y'all? Jesus, you're saying this affected everybody. It could have happened to anyone. A tractor trailer flipped over on the highway, crushing the Sakisaka family car into a twisted scrap. They said it had been difficult to tell the bodies of Fuminori's parents apart. For a while, it had looked as if there was no hope for Fuminori either. It was nothing short of a miracle that he was able to leave the hospital and return to normal life.
見舞いに行った時なんてもっとひどかったじゃないか。
So does he have that?
誰が誰かも分からずに
Is he
怯えて暴れてベッドに縛り付けられて。
Cotard syndrome, which is where you think you're dead? Does he have something like that since like his parents died and then like he apparently got fucked up really bad too? Jesus.
よくあそこまで立ち直ってくれたと思う。
それにしたって変よ、咲坂くん。私たちのこと見る目つき、あれ何なの？まる
Well,
でこっちが人間じゃないみたい。
might be a reason for that.
よせ、オミ。
Cut it out, Omi, Koji says forcefully, probably less out of empathy for his friend than out of consideration for Yo. While Koji's kindness makes her happy, Yo also knows that she mustn't take advantage of it. Fuminori is the victim. Just as Koji said, he's the one who most deserves sympathy. Yo's feelings for Fuminori are her problem and no one else's. She doesn't blame Fuminori for not giving her an answer after she worked up the courage to ask him out. In fact, she thinks even more fondly of him for his serious consideration of her feelings than she would have had he treated their relationship casually. Apparently, the fact that Fuminori did not reject her was enough to make them a couple in Koji and Omi's eyes. That's not how that works. No. They've had plenty of fun at Yo and Fuminori's expense since. The truth of it, though, is that he still hasn't given her an answer. After revealing her feelings to him, Yo didn't see Fuminori again until a week later, and then she could only stare at his broken body through the window of the ICU. Tragic tale. She confessed he didn't give an answer, and then he had a bad car crash, and oh boy. It's all going really well. And when he was finally released, after 50 days that seemed like an eternity, he was somehow different. She's starting to doubt that he even remembers what she confessed to him before the accident. Now winter is coming, and her feelings hang forgotten in the cold, lonely air. Dr. Tombo Ryoko has never had a more troublesome patient. Hello, ma'am! Ma'am, I want to see you. Hold on. Hide text, please. Hello! I bet you are an absolutely awful person, and I want to experience all of it, please. Oh, you are going to be so bad. I just know it. You are going to be so... Holy shit, these legs do not quit, though. Fuck, my guy! I can be like that in this Let's Play, can't I? Because this is technically just, hey, this is not an all ages Let's Play. Though I will have to do a lot of editing on this, I'm sure. Especially if she's involved.
いいえ、別だ。これといって問題もなく。
So is he being honest about this stuff with her? I doubt it. His voice is hard and flat, his words tossed carelessly into the air. It's like he's speaking to himself in an empty room. Ryoko is a surgeon, not a psychiatrist, but even she can sense the thickness of the wall he has erected between himself and the world.
吐き気やめまい、幻聴や幻覚といった体験は？
Absolutely no on that everything, especially that last one.
いいえ、何も。
While Sakisaka appears to be looking at Ryoko, his gaze is actually aimed a fraction down into the side. He's only superficially engaged in the conversation, when in truth, does not interest him in the slightest. Perfect rejection. Realizing that she can't interview him like this, Ryoko sighs and sets her chart aside.
咲坂さん、あなたが当院で受けた処置は脳神経医学の分野では世界的に最先端の治療でした。
Oh, wait a
そのことは
minute.
ご存知ですよね。
Did we RoboCop this dude and then it turned out real bad? Is that what's going on here? I knew you were doing bad stuff. And again, I want to be a part of all of it, especially this part right here. Treatment of subdural hematoma through the use of micromachines. A procedure available in Japan exclusively here at the T University Medical Center. had been the only way to save the Sakisaka Fuminori from a cerebral contusion that should have been fatal.
最先端であるということは、まだまだデータの出揃っていない危険性の伴う治療法だったという意味でもあります。
Problems? What problems? No problems.
そうでしょうね。
It's fine. Sakisaka Fuminori's lips twist slightly in what might be a bitter or mocking smile, but it is gone before Ryoko can discern its meaning.
普通こんなことを言って脅かすのは医者として問題なんですが。
You strike me as the type of doctor that would say everything you could to strike fear into a patient because you get off on it.
施術後に重大な脳障害をきたしたケースも報告されているんです。予後の経過には十分に注意しなければなりません。
Hence these weekly checkups. If only he would take them a little more seriously.
先週の MRI はどうでした？
How was last week's MRI? Sakisaka asks abruptly, as if to catch Ryoko off guard. MRI, magnetic resonance imaging, is a way for doctors to examine the brain in detail without opening the patient's skull. Surprised by Sakisaka's uncommon technical knowledge, Ryoko recalls his profile.
そういえばあなたも
Oh,
医
you're
者
a
の
medical
卵だっ
student.
たわね。
Okay. But you know all kinds of fun ways to fuck people up, don't you?
先生が心配しているような脳機能不全は画像診断だけでも十分にわかるはずですよね。
いいえ。
There was nothing, not the slightest hint of abnormal activity. For a procedure with such a low rate of success, the results have been nothing short of miraculous. We're worrying, we're not taking into account, the believability of the patient. I have low confidence in our patient right now. However, something still bothers Ryoko. She can't shake the feeling that he's hiding something beneath his guarded exterior, some terrible weight on his soul, perhaps. But if it's an inorganic problem, then there's nothing she can do as long as he refuses to explain it.
大丈夫ですよ先生。現に僕は今こうして病院の外でも何不自由なく生活しています。問題
ねえ咲坂さん、こういった難しい手術は予後不断が原則なんです。もう少し私たちを信用してもらえませんと。
そうですよね。僕だって先生方を信用したい。どんな相談にも乗ってもらえるんですか？
Can I really tell you about crazy world that I'm currently stuck? He's handling himself really well in this conversation. Like, if we know he's seeing what we think he's seeing, he's handling himself remarkably well.
ええ、もちろん。
Yes, of course, Ryoko answers, smiling to cover up her irritation. Sakisaka asked exactly the same question during last week's visit.
じゃあ先週の話の続きなんですが、先生、あれから大貝教授については何か分かりましたか？
Dr. Ogai. Unable to answer, Ryoko hardens the mask of her smile. As before, the patient is inquiring about someone whom she has no business knowing.
大貝教授のことは、あなたの治療とは何の関係もないでしょ？
信頼しろと言った矢先にいきなり隠し事ですか？
He's got a point. Ryoko is used to patients treating her with hostility. After all, some degree of paranoia is natural when dealing with someone who holds your life in her hands. In Sakisaka, however, she doesn't see the short-sighted impatience that other patients exhibit. His demeanor is perfectly calm, almost like a detective questioning a suspect.
何分、だいぶ前にここを辞められた方ですからね。私、
辞めた理由はご存知ない？
ええ、おそらく個人的な事情でしょうね。
Yes, I believe it was personal, Ryoko answers smoothly, her earlier hesitation gone. Having decided at the outset to lie, she has no trouble doing so with a straight face.
それにしても、咲坂さん、なぜあなたはそんなに大貝教授にこだわるんです？
No, but maybe I want to kill him. That's what I think. I think he's very angry at what's happening to him right now. And I think this guy had something to do with it.
教授は今失踪中なんです。知ってましたか？
いいえ。
Ryoko realizes that her answer may have been a little too quick. She should have acted more surprised.
近頃教授の身内の人間と恋にしていましてね。その人から調査を頼まれているんです。
A relative? Ryoko considers this with a frown.
大貝教授に縁者の方はおられないはずですが。
Is he playing her right now? Is he trying to get her to cough up information with like some psychology?
おう。誰から聞きました？
それは噂話に。
I heard it from a nurse, Ryoko replies, remembering that she just claimed to have no contact with the man.
なるほど。そんなことが噂になる程度には、大貝教授は有名人だったわけですね。
まあ、一風変わった人だったみたいですね。
なのに、誰も彼が大学を辞めた理由を知らないと。
Ryoko falls silent, knowing that this isn't a topic she can brush away with a smile. Sakisaka seems to have finally grasped her mood, however, as his strangely stiff tone softens a little.
先生、僕はどうしても大貝教授に会わなきゃならないんです。彼がいなくなったせいで、行く当てがなくなり困っている子がいるんです。
それはむしろ警察の領分なんじゃないかしら。
Although she makes it sound like the most obvious thing in the world, the suggestion is actually a risky gamble. If Ogai Masahiko's disappearance becomes a police matter, then the university will be investigated. Everyone who was involved in the incident will be at risk of exposure. And of course, that includes Ryoko herself. Yep! Everybody's into some fuck shit! Let's go! I'm excited. I love knowing that everybody in this game is probably a shithead. She knows, however, that Sakisaka is unlikely to go to the police. First of all, his excuse is obviously a lie. They already made sure that Ogai had no relatives who might come looking for him, which is why they could bury the truth of what happened. But then how did Sakisaka, a mere patient, learn about Ogai?
咲坂さん、私の知っている範囲のことは喜んでお教えします。ですが、大貝教授は今年の4月に辞表を出して、以後は何の音信もないんです。どこか長期の旅行にでも行かれたか。
An extended vacation? Is this like transferring out in Higurashi?
そうですか。
そうですか. Expecting resistance, Ryoko is surprised when Sakisaka backs down. She's still worried about his condition, and the mysterious link between him and Ogai Masahiko is only making her more uneasy. But as long as he doesn't open up to her, there's nothing she can do. After a brief pause, Ryoko writes, "Progress good" on Sakisaka's chart.
咲坂さん、それでは来週の診察ですが、今日と同じ4時でも。
Before she can finish, Sakisaka is gone. Oh, we're back to Hell World. Let's go. We'll go back into Hell World the next time we're together, though. I think that was a good little chunk of the story to get through. I mean, all the meaty chunks we're probably looking at right now. So, we will do our due diligence. We will... How do you save in this game? Okay, there we go. We do this, and then we do this. All right. All right. So, alright, so, when next we meet, God, I don't know. What's gonna happen? I don't know. I expect some awful fuck shit, though. Thanks for watching, and we will catch you next time.